Hey, hello everyone, and thanks for joining us for Access City Council. I'm your host, David Riggleman, Communications Director for the City of Las Vegas. On this show, we'll be discussing issues related to Ward 6, and the councilwoman who represents this ward, Michelle Fiore, joins me now. Councilwoman, welcome back to the show.
Hi.
You're getting to be an old veteran.
Oh my
this is
goodness.
your second whole show.
We've done so much since the last time I visited with you. And
How's it going?
It's going fabulous. We opened up our MCA office on the northwest side.
I know, we're going to talk about that today.
So
yeah.
It's going. So I'm just going to go with the flow with you because there's so much to tell.
Yeah, we've got a guest coming on today. We want to introduce everybody to as well. So we'll show everybody out there where Ward 6 is located. You may not know, Councilwoman knows this very well already, but it's the area in the northwest part of the valley, northwest part of the city. If you live in that area, work in that area, then you're in the city limits of the city of Las Vegas. As we said, you are represented by Michelle Fiore, who was just sworn in on July 19th. So you're about 2 months into the job, and you have not slowed down. You actually didn't slow down from the election right on through.
I know. We had a lot to do.
You did. But here you are, and one of the big issues you've had to deal with right off the bat, and it's not just in Ward 6, but it's been a national trend, issues with golf courses going under and leaving communities built around them really struggling. And in your neck of the woods, the Silverstone golf course has been a real trouble spot.
And unfortunately, I'm really not happy about the way the owner of the golf course handled this, simply because in Silverstone, 75% of our homeowners, according to their CC&Rs, they've read the instructions, they understand. The golf course cannot do anything with that golf course without 75% of the homeowners approving something. So for them to go forth and think that the homeowners of Silverstone were just going to roll over, I guess they don't understand how we are in the Northwest. But we don't roll over. And so we are working diligently on that. And I'm working directly with my residents out there. So we have our resident meetings that we conduct out there. I'm going to talk with our code enforcers because I see absolutely no reason why that community center cannot be opened for my residents, because they have a lot of parties, they have a lot of meetings. I would like to host our Silverstone meetings in that community center. I was very happy to use the Northwest Career and Technical School out there. They were kind enough to give us that room. But still, this was the room. That's what
this is. This is a big meeting. These are all the residents that live in the Silverstone community, met with Councilwoman. This was back on September 6th. And of course, they're concerned because they bought into to live around a golf course community, and now the golf course has gone under and their future's uncertain.
It is. I will say that having meetings like this is very, very important. So this way, my community, my constituents that live in Ward 6 know that their city councilwoman is their voice, and I'm not going to do anything they don't want me to do or push an issue.
Councilwoman, what next in the whole Silverstone issue? What do you think is going to be the next step?
So I have to meet with their HOA board and the developers, and so I know our office has been reaching out a lot, and so we have not, it might be on my calendar, but I haven't seen it yet, to meet with them. So then once I meet with those other two folks, then I can go back to my constituents and say, here's what's going to happen. What do you guys want to do? Yeah. Because as I talked with our attorney here at the city, Brad Jerbick, he has done so much work and research into these problem golf courses. And he has come up with some fabulous solutions with open spaces. So, we're gonna, and all of our staff is at the beck and call of our constituents. All of them came with me, they spoke, they answered questions, they answered the tough questions. So I think the first meeting went very well, and now we're scheduling another one.
Okay, all right, well, good luck with everything. I know you're on top of it, and we'll stay on top of it through this whole thing. Councilman, another thing that's exciting is just the whole development. The economy's obviously picking up, and we're starting to see development again. In fact, the city tweeted out this on social media. The Upper Las Vegas wash plan for a new master plan community in the Northwest has been approved by the Las Vegas City Council. And I know this is something that you were really excited about because it brings a whole new dynamic to the Northwest again.
It does, and a lot of folks don't realize that Ward 6 is home to over 1,500 of our military men and women that work at Creech Air Force Base, right? So
I didn't know it was that many. Wow.
It's actually 1,562,
Wow.
our last count.
Wow.
So when you look at their commute to work and back, and when our staff showed me this proposal, and now understand, we're working with BLM, we're working with federal agencies on this. This was a vision plan we approved. This isn't the last plan, but in this vision plan, because the Northwest is quite rural, and I love horses, I ride horses, all my grandkids ride horses.
I saw that, I saw that on Twitter.
Yeah, I know, so Jake, my 7-year-old,
doing really well, yeah.
He's doing so good.
Riding the barrels and stuff,
It was his first rodeo this weekend,
Wow.
And he's just
Looked
doing
like
phenomenal.
a vet on that
I
horse.
know, I know, and
Obviously
he's
he practiced
not.
before.
He's practicing for maybe the last 6-7 weeks, and he
Wow.
got out there and he roped and he did barrels and yeah, so he did well. So, but that's the vision that I see. I see us being able to wake up in the morning, you know, jumping on your horse, going down to the local coffee shop or local lounge, hooking your horse up to a hitching post, having a coffee or having a glass of wine, and riding home. I mean, I want to keep the Northwest, it's like sacred ground to me out there.
All right. Well, the plan that was approved, obviously, by the City Council is going to help guarantee that. I think that's why you were excited about it. So good stuff there. And Councilman, you've really made yourself accessible. I think one of the things that you've said as soon as you got into office is that I want to make sure people know that they can connect with me when they need to. And you do Mondays with Michelle.
Yes.
This is pretty cool. And the first one you had here, and you've taken the show on the road, too, so it's out in the Northwest.
Yes.
So people don't have to come all the way down here to City Hall. This is out at the Centennial Hills Community Center. And, you know, for a first time out of the box, you had quite a few people show up at this.
Yeah, it was really great. I have to tell you, the conversations, the folks that were there, and we got into some deep conversations. You know, there's no, like, I don't put a limit on what someone wants to ask me. So it was really cool.
Yeah, I think people like those informal settings where you can just chat over a cup of coffee or a bottle of water versus having to come all the way down to City Hall, maybe talking at a city council meeting, maybe a little more intimidating.
Pizza. We had all kinds of pizza, you know, from cheese to Supremes. Of course, from Lino's, you know, my personal caterer, and sodas, and we had donuts, fresh donuts. And so I always, as an Italian woman, I gotta feed everybody.
So more incentive to come to her Mondays with Michelle. So again, the thing that's cool, these are the ones coming up in October, the 9th and the 23rd. You're out there from noon to 6. And the thing of it is that, again, it's out at the Centennial Hills Community Center, so people that live in the Northwest, it's a short trip to go to this place versus coming all the way down here to City Hall. Yeah.
It's really cool, and it's a beautiful office. And Dan and Chance, who our viewers met last week, they designed it. So I designed my office here at City Hall, and they designed the office in the Northwest. They picked the furniture.
How'd they do?
They did great. I love it. It's so comfortable.
Well, good deal.
Yeah.
So Mondays with Michelle, I'm sorry, it's the 2nd and 4th?
Yep.
2nd and 4th Mondays of the month. You want to meet in person, there she'll be. So that's good stuff. And then, Councilwoman, you're also, you had something that was great, September 5th. You do these first Tuesday.
Yes.
Now tell us about that. What takes place here?
It's so important because we've partnered with our Northwest Area Command, Captain Sasha Larkin, who is just a gem. I just love her. So we partner up with them to make sure our community is aware of everything that our Metro has to offer them. From going to their home and showing them what they can do to prevent burglaries. I mean, they're really accessible. So what we did on that first Tuesday was we did a 9/11 remembrance. And so, of course, because it was 9/11, the lieutenant wanted to make sure that we did he's Italian too out there. So we did the Italian thing. You know, we had sausage and peppers and Zeppelis and we had Bagzitis and pizza and soda. And again, we have to feed everybody.
Wow. So again, folks,
if you're hanging with me, you're eating.
You're going to eat. Exactly. That's the
eating.
deal. Exactly. It's a great thing. So Metro's had the first Tuesdays for some time, and
Yes.
now you've just partnered more
And
with
now
them.
I'm partnered up with them because it's so important. It's so important.
Northwest Area Command.
Yes.
That's on Cheyenne, West Cheyenne, and again, it's always the first Tuesday of the month.
Yes.
What time does it start, Councilman? Like
7
6,
p.m.
7 p.m. All
Yep.
right. So, all right, you'll have to keep the tradition going.
Yes.
I think you're going to have huge crowds if you keep bringing the food, for sure.
Yes, yes.
And then, Councilwoman, I know one of the things really important to you, speaking of the Northwest, is to work closely with the other elected officials who also represent the Northwest.
Yes.
County Commission, state legislators, et cetera. So, Councilman Anthony, you guys had a big
Yes.
meeting recently, and he tweeted this out. He said, Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department, county commissioners, and city council members coming together to talk crime issues in the Northwest. And that's one of the things I know that you wanted to do right off the bat. We talked about that on your first show, was that you wanted to work very closely with especially the county commission, because we
Yes.
share so much of the responsibility in the Northwest.
So when you look at the Northwest and when we look at developing the Northwest, you have to just imagine my city street might be right up against a county street, right? So I've got to always take into consideration Commissioner Kirkpatrick's constituents and Commissioner Brown's constituents. And thank goodness both Commissioner Brown and Commissioner Kirkpatrick and I, we have a long-standing relationship and a friendship. And then we have Assemblyman Richard MacArthur.
Yeah, we saw.
Yeah, so he was with us. So all of us are constantly coming together and making sure that as development happens, everyone's happy. Our constituents, and making sure the Northwest area is important. And then Councilman Stavros Anthony, his street butts up right against mine. So it's really a really great elected effort from all of us.
Yeah, and we saw it in the map at the beginning of the show. There are a lot of county islands within Ward 6,
Yeah.
so that ability to work together is so critical because so much of what we do out there does overlap.
Yes.
So,
does.
and I know that you're working with them too. National Night Out is usually the first Tuesday in August, but in cities like Las Vegas where it's still 115
Yes,
in
yes.
August, a lot of the communities around the country have now also had the first Tuesday in October as National Night Out. So October 3rd,
Yes.
we're going to be doing this again out in the Northwest then.
And
so.
it'll be great because, again, we've got Commissioner Brown, we've got Councilman Stavros, myself, and it's, honoring our police. A lot of folks don't realize what a tough job they have, period. And I think the Northwest has really set the stage to say, this is the Northwest, and you don't get to mess with us out here. Number one, we back our cops, and so we work diligently and very hard to make sure everyone gets along. And the Northwest Area Command, I have to tell you, they are so involved with community.
Yeah.
It reminds me, as a kid back in Brooklyn, my uncles are police officers. And they would have their beat, and their beat was their neighborhood. Their neighborhood knew their officer, the gangbangers, the mothers of the gangbangers. They knew who their police officers were. My uncle, and I was a kid, would get a call from a mom and she would call him and say, "My son, he's acting up, he's doing this." My uncle would go out there. It's not legal now, right? But he would literally rip that boy, from the street, bring him home. He probably gave him a spanking or two. And, but he worked with the parents,
Yeah.
and back, and that was a long time ago. That was like 25 years ago. But again, you look at the community and the policing the community and getting to know your community members, the good ones, the bad ones, and then the good ones that are trying to help the bad ones.
Councilwoman, I think you hit a really good point there. I think one of the reasons that Las Vegas has not seen some of the issues that so many other communities have across the country is because Metro has worked very hard to have that connection with the community, to establish that relationship before there's a big incident or before there's trouble, rather than waiting and then hoping that everything works out, because they haven't really established anything. Not the case here. The police have worked very hard.
Not the case here. And let me tell you, they are so open. I've had an incident where a constituent came to me and was having an issue with a police officer, one of my Metro police officers, and I went down with this person and I talked to him. It got settled. It was a lack of communication. It was great. Then I've had an individual come to me and want me to endorse bad behavior. I told that individual, take a hike, take a walk. You're not going to misbehaved with our officers, and that's that. So it works both ways.
And our special guest today is a police officer.
Yes.
We're going to meet here very shortly. But before that, I want to mention, of course, an update to the movie in the park.
Yes.
I had a little bit of a change here. You tweeted this out. You said, we got rained out. We have to cancel our movie in the park right now, Beauty and the Beast. But coming Friday, October 13th, is Casper. And so, yeah, on September, I think that was September 8th, we had to cancel. But no worries, folks. Just in time for Halloween, we're going to have Casper the Friendly Ghost coming on October 13th, 7 o'clock out of the Centennial Hills Amphitheater out there. Great place to see these movies.
And you know what's going to be really good? Well, we already give away free popcorn and free water, but because it's the month of Halloween, AMR, the ambulance, they're coming out, they're partnering up with us October 13th, and they're going to be giving candy out to everyone. So it'll be really cool.
So the food theme just continues right on through.
Yeah, the food theme continues.
Good. Well, good. Well, thanks to AMR. That's nice that they're going to come out and provide all that.
Very exciting.
And did we mention that those events are always free?
Yes,
So
they're always free.
Come on out, sit on the grass there, and enjoy Casper. So, well, Councilwoman, as promised, we're going to go ahead and take a short break. But when we come back, we're going to tell you why this heroic Las Vegas police officer was named Citizen of the Month here at the city. That's next, so please stay with us.
Of all the things you've done with your bike, donating it to Goodwill may be the most incredible of all. Your donations help fund job placement and training for people in your community, which means your stuff can be more powerful than you think. Donate stuff, create jobs.
Drop that baby.
In the small town of Elmira, New York, a boy was born into an all-American family. The odds of him opening his own clothing store at the age of 18? 1 in 138,000. Excited to be a part of pop culture, he packed for the big city. The odds of finding someone to invest in his vision? 1 in 4.5 million. The odds of him achieving his dream in the fashion industry? 1 in 23 million. The odds of having a child diagnosed with autism? 1 in 68. I am Tommy Hilfiger, and my family is affected by autism. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs. Early diagnosis can make a lifetime of difference.
Adopting a pet from your local shelter can be one of the best decisions you'll ever make. Not only will you be saving a life, you'll feel good doing it. At the Animal Foundation, our everyday low pricing makes it easy and affordable to adopt a pet. Our adoption fees include spay and neuter surgery, vaccinations, and microchipping, so you can focus on starting your new life with your rescue pet. To find your new best friend, visit animalfoundation.com.
Everywhere that we go, he makes people laugh and makes people smile, and I feel like I have that quality.
He's the one who always takes me fishing.
I watch golf with him. And
I watch him cook, because when I grow up, I want to be a cook too.
We have the same faces like this.
Dad is the one, when you fall, that picks you up.
That unconditional sense of presence and
Reassurance is really what makes him my father.
Welcome back, everyone. We have a very special guest with us today, a police officer who, because of his quick thinking and heroic actions, was able to save a man's life. And we're honored to have Jeffrey Burr with us, Officer Jeffrey Burr from the Metropolitan Police Department. And you were our Citizen of the Month.
Yes.
And I know that Councilwoman is thrilled to have you here because you are a credit to the department and to our city. So
thank you.
Yes, well, I have to tell you, like I said before, the Northwest, we don't play out there. And this particular officer was protecting our ward, and he also lives in my ward. And I just felt it was very natural to give him that Citizen of the Month award, because besides protecting the people that live in our Ward 6, the individual that actually pointed a weapon at him, he saved his life. Before the medics got there, he put a tourniquet on him, which, I mean, to go into a gun battle and then to not be shocked and to perform and to save this guy, it was pretty big. It was really, really pretty big, because sometimes when we do have police shootings, the ending isn't as good. Yeah.
Officer Burr, walk us through what happened the day that Councilwoman is referring to. It was you went to work, it was going to be a normal day, but it turned out to be anything but, right?
Yes, you never, as a police officer, think you're going to be involved in an actual shooting. You never think you're going to actually have to draw your weapon to save the lives of the community. But when this routine call, basically, is never routine. That's what we're taught. Yeah. It's never a routine call. So I get there and I address the subject, who eventually takes off running from me.
Where are you? Tell everybody where.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm in the parking lot of a very busy shopping center, 6700 North Durango, Kohl's. Very busy. Lots of people, lots of foot traffic, lots of vehicle traffic. So once the subject starts taking off from me, I have to think about those things as well. The public safety. Where is he running to? Is he running towards the store? Is he running to get another car? Because it was eventually a stolen vehicle that he was in possession of. And once I give out my verbal commands and have him stop it, all of a sudden he does point a firearm in my direction, and I have to take action.
Wow. You were by yourself at this point.
I was by myself, yes. Up in the Northwest, a lot of people don't think that there's a lot of calls for service, but we handle a lot of calls for service. We handle hundreds of calls for service on a monthly basis, and we do our best to support the Las Vegas community with the limited resources that we have.
So he points his gun at you.
Correct.
You fire.
Yes.
And this is the part the Councilwoman is so amazed with, because you hit him, you hit the subject, but then you went to his aid to save his life. You put a tourniquet on him. That's what the Councilwoman is referring to.
Correct. So. The doctors later explained that one of his arteries, his main artery in his arm, was severed. And putting the tourniquet on, and yes, it did save his life, because I'm not there to take someone's life. I'm there to protect the public and render aid when possible. And putting this tourniquet on, I knew was through my training and experience with Metro. We go through a lot of training, and we recently went through tourniquet training specifically to aid and render people, not just suspects, but people involved in car accidents or injuries that they obtained. And that's what kicked in after I had to save the lives of many citizens that were shopping in Kohl's or in that shopping center.
Been there many times. The place is packed. And,
always packed.
Yeah,
correct.
So someone with a gun, with a stolen car, not a place I'd want to be. So I'm glad you were there that day. The tourniquet training was timely. I'll have to say that came at a good time.
Correct.
And I think your actions, that's why Councilwoman really wanted to nominate you as Citizen of the Month. You live out there. It's just an incredible story, and one that, as Councilwoman said, generally those types of situations end tragically. This one ended with you saving the life of the suspect, which can't get much better than that, So
yes, it is an honor to be the Citizen of the Month, and I really do appreciate the nomination, and I'm glad I'm the a good face for Metro, because Metro does so much work and so much good work for the citizens, and you know, not all of it gets out there. And you know, saving the life and saving the public at Kohl's was my job and my duty, and that's what I did.
Tell us a little bit about yourself. How long you've been on the force? Are you from Las Vegas? Give us some background.
I was raised here in Las Vegas. I graduated from Silverado High School. Been a Metro officer for 8 years now. Have 2 little kids, a beautiful wife, who I want to go home to every day. So protecting the citizens of Las Vegas, I want everybody to go home, and especially myself as well.
Yeah, for sure. We need you. Councilwoman.
So his children are 4 and 7, which are the same age as 2 out of 5 of my grandchildren. And it was exciting because we had given them an extra special, an award saying that your dad's a hero. And their dad is a hero, and they need to be proud of that and wear that medal.
They already knew that, they'll probably go
Yes,
in.
of course they did. And so I'm looking forward to them coming back and getting that medal. And the mayor's going to put it on their neck with us, too.
I've heard about this. That's why we're going to do it right here at City Hall and everything. Yeah,
it's going to be, it's really, and one of the most important things for me, being an elected official, is to make sure that our Metro police officers and our law enforcement officers, our marshals, know that the electeds have their backs, know that we won't allow the media to judge them. So I just want to make sure that we get that message out loud and clear, that we stand with our cops.
Officer Byrd, it's great to have you on the show. I'll give you the final word today. I think you've probably earned it.
Well, I want to thank you for letting me be here. Thank you, Michelle, for nominating me. And like I said before, it's a true honor to be a good face for Metro, to show the citizens of Las Vegas that we are here for the citizens. We go through severe training to help them in serious calls and be able to help save lives. And when it comes down to it, who you're going to call when you need some help? Well, you're going to call us, and we're going to be there smiling and helping out when times are tough.
Yeah.
Well, you proved it here recently for sure. So best of luck to you. It's an honor to have you on the show. Good luck. Be safe out there. And,
thank you.
Just good luck to you and your whole family too, and looking forward to the ceremony with your kids too. So it'll be a lot of fun. We'll put it all over social media.
Yes, exactly.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much.
Yep.
Well, folks, we always want to hear from you out there. So if you have something you'd like to share with Councilwoman Fiore, you can always find her on Facebook and Twitter. She does a lot of social media. And if you leave a comment, we may use one of your comments, your tweets or posts in an upcoming show. So we'd love to hear from you. You can also contact her the old-fashioned way. Just pick up the phone, 702-229-6405, or send her an email. Her address is mfiore@lasvegasnevada.gov. So, Councilwoman, we'll see you back in 6 weeks with another update from Ward 6.
Yes.
And Officer Burr, good luck to you and be safe out there. And
thank you.
Thanks for all you do to protect Ward 6 and the city in general.
So. Of course.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Thanks for all you do.
Of course, thank you.
And we want to thank you for joining us for this edition of Access City Council. Don't miss our next show beginning on September 28th with Councilwoman Lois Tarkanian. And don't forget you can watch us live on the internet at kclv.tv. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you next time around.